team players that you want to tell us about? Your scout team players that have some WNBA experience?
Yeah, Tiff is actually leaving on Thursday, so she wanted to come in and get her lungs working. Asia, on the other hand, probably wants to continue that series they lost. But it's always great to have them back in the fold, and hopefully some of our players are picking up some of the skill, not necessarily just having them around. Just they talk, they understand how to play with anybody. Like they got 3 guys on our scout team that they were playing with, and they beat us today. And they haven't played with those guys for ever. And that's what I want our players to pick up on. I mean, it's always good to have some pros coming back to give them a glimpse of what our younger players want to aspire to become.
When did you touch down, and are you still a little jet lagged?
I touched down, I was about 1:30 yesterday. Came in the office, and yeah.
Was that a fun experience out down in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, it actually was a great experience. It was a lot different than my experiences with USA Basketball as a coach, because we took a young team. And when you take a young team, you never know what to expect. But it was a lot of newness, a lot of fun. It wasn't didn't seem as pressure-packed. So, I mean, I enjoy getting to know everybody, and hopefully, some of the young ones may flourish in the future with USA Basketball.
I mean, it laid a good base, I guess, for what may be ahead, not just the next Olympics, but the Olympics beyond that.
Yeah, so I think the younger players need to have a glimpse of what the big picture looks like. 2020 looks, like we'll get, probably a good handful of the players that played in 2016. So if you're young, I don't think 2020 is out of the picture, but certainly, things open up in 2024.
What is 20 years?
Going back to
20 years.
20 years?
For you, what does that mean?
God, I didn't see myself being in this profession for 20 years. 20 years, well, 19 of them, 19 years have gone by so quickly. But they've been incredibly gratifying. You coach some players from like CJ in our office and Ari in our office. They work in our office. They were my very first recruiting class at Temple, and they've been with me almost their entire adult lives, or mine. And when your former players become your friends, that you've been in the business a long time, but you also know that you keep people around you that understand you and know you and love you for who you are, the good, the bad, the ugly at times.
Coach, lots of times you see a superstar player, they don't make the greatest coaches, but what has worked for you? How have you been able to make that transformation?
Well, I think it helps when you're a point guard. You're a coach on the floor out there. You have an understanding of what a coach needs. And I was fortunate enough to play and coach, so I was kind of doubly good in that. In the locker room, I could be a sounding board, or I can be someone that can explain stuff as to what the coach is seeing out there on the floor. And I've been a player that my ego always has been in check. I only want to win. It doesn't matter how it looks. I just want to win basketball games, and fortunately for me, I took that into the coaching ranks, and I stuck around for a long time.
Ty says she wants to follow in your footsteps, but she doesn't know if she wants to be a coach yet. Could you see her coaching?
I could see Ty coaching. I mean, Ty has a really good understanding of the game. Ty probably has to get out of being young. I wouldn't do it as a youngster. I wouldn't do it as like a 24-year-old, because I probably could have, because I got an old soul. But a young 24 now is a young 24 where I don't think they have enough perspective, because they haven't lived enough. And they live through their phones and social media. So, as coaches, we keep those things in perspective.
I know you've been working out with the team, but what is the first official day of practice? What's that like? Is that same anticipation every day?
Well, the anticipation was there of the first day. The execution wasn't. But it's good. I think it's, we got a type of team that needs probably to understand both sides of the basketball. I think they realize they're a good individual. We have good individual players, but how we get that individual mentality to mesh as a team, we're a long way from that. So we're going to need a lot more practice to understand our worth and our value to each other, and it'll come because there are glimpses of it, but not enough.
Coach, there's a lot of excitement around the new recruits. How are they adjusting to the collegiate level?
I think they're doing great. I think there are enough of their day that keeps them occupied that they're not really thinking about the basketball portion of it. They probably are now that we're starting practice, but I'm sure there's a lot of hoopla around campus and around just if they're going to the malls or the movies, they're recognizable, but they haven't won a game here yet, so we got to keep that part of it in perspective.
Don, going back to having players come back like Adrian, do they serve as extensions of you and reinforcing all the stuff that you hammered into them for 4 years?
I would hope that they are that, but I want them to be an extension of themselves, and I want them to be an extension of being a pro athlete, because all the 12 players on our team aspire to become what they are. So I just want them to be someone that can tell them the real deal and how to be a pro, both on and off the court, and what it takes to sustain. Because a lot of people can go and be a one-hit wonder, but to have some sustainability and some longevity and play at the top level is a different it's a different mentality.
I know it's kind of early, but have you gotten a sense of what this team this year will be like? What kind of attributes they'll thrive in this year?
I mean, it's really hard to tell because they haven't meshed as a team. I think we see glimpses of individual talent and some great plays, but we haven't. There's a lot of dynamics to our team right now. Like you have some older players, like Ty and Kiki. They want to be pros, so they want to have a good senior year so they can raise their stock and be a top draft pick. You have someone like Lily Grissett. She wants to break into playing full time in a lot of minutes. You have some of our sophomores who had a glimpse of playing a whole lot of minutes. They want to continue that. Then you got a freshman class that they just want to play right now. They want to showcase their talents. So how we get those dynamics to work together, that's pretty tough. But day by day, I think what we do is we just keep. We got to break them down. You got to break them down. You got to break them down, and then you got to build them up so they're playing with confidence and they're playing together. Because I don't want us to assume because we have a team full of talent that it just is an automatic wins, and we know that we can't go into the season thinking that way.
Don, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the pay for play, but South Carolina, one of a few states that's proposing something like that for college athletes. Is that something that you would be in favor of?
You know what? I was told by somebody, that's in the thick of things, that if I mentioned it, I could get subpoenaed to be a part of the case, and I don't want to be that. What I want is everybody to be happy.
Right.
So that's as far as I'm going to go with it. I want everybody to be happy. I want the NCAA to be happy. I want the players to be happy. I want the student athletes to be happy. I want a happy ending.
Sure.
Do you have a sense of how quickly the freshmen might be able to contribute? Do you think you can ease them in early in the year, or are they going to be forced to play?
Oh, they got to play. They got to play. There's some returners, but not enough to sustain. They have to play and contribute right away. And I think they will be up for that challenge.
How important does that make this next month now, given how challenging the non-conference is?
Well, I think all the summer was important. I think the 16 practices that we had in the preseason, I think the 26 or 27 practices that we had before our first game, they're all important. I just think that how much they process and learn and how much they're able to connect the days are going to be truly important. And it's hard. It's hard. The pace that they have to play at, the things that we're implementing on both sides of the ball is much different than they've ever experienced. So they have to be quick learners when it comes to that.
You mentioned Lily. Has she taken a big step forward this summer?
Yeah, Lily is playing well. We're probably gonna have to move her around a little bit more. Most of her reps have been at the guard position, but I think her best contributions will be, playing some post play.
You mentioned Lily playing guard and forward with Kiki and Bree's versatility. Is that something that could be an attribute of this team this year? Is it you have a lot of players who are versatile, playing all over the place?
Yeah, well, Kiki will be primarily, being a stretch forward for us. Now, Bree is a little bit different in that, she's got a little bit more versatility in that she can play, perimeter. She can post up. We can go small and play her at the stretch forward position. She embraces anything we throw at her. She's very intelligent. She doesn't mind the physicality of playing at this. She's probably the most physically ready to play at this level. And she really hadn't lifted a weight before she got here. But she just embraces that. She's kind of a utility player that can play all over the place and she embraces it all.
Last question for Coach.
Any update on Destiny or any time frame where you might know anything about her?
No, I think we're in the mix of the waiver, so we're just waiting to hear back.
But it has been submitted.
I believe so. Yep, I've been gone, but I was hoping I'd come back to some good news, but not yet.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,